Welcome back to Canoe Brook Country Club. I'm Dave Broderick along with Patty Hogan, and we have Mark Innish down courtside that will be doing some interviews with the players shortly for tonight's Pro Flight Live paddle event. We'll have Martin Bostrom and Drew Broderick taking on Sven Burris and Mick Erdoya in what should be an exciting and fun match. And I think we're going to go down to Mark for the interviews.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the men's match. We're going to chat to a few of the players quickly. Let's bring in Mick Erdoya and Sven Burris. Come on over, gents. We are here with Sven Burris and Mick Erdoya. They are hot off an incredible victory at the Western New England tournament where they beat the #1 team in the country, Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell, and they took the title. How are you guys feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. We're ready. We never played Drew and Martin as a team, but obviously played them a lot of times individually, so should be a fun match.
It's your first PFP event for the season. Does it feel good to be back?
Sure, pretty excited to play. Any tournament this time is good, so we're pumped up.
Can you divulge any strategy to us?
I mean, just hit mix forehand on my backhand, that's it.
That easy, ladies and gentlemen. Mix forehand, Sven's backhand, that's all you got to do. Thank you, gents. Enjoy. And now the hometown team, Drew Broderick, Martin Bostrom. Come on over here, gents. This is the first season that this team has been playing together. They had a great first showing at the PFP event where the match against Durant and Powers went to the infamous PFP breaker, and it was 15-14 down. How you guys feeling tonight?
Feel good. Every time we're getting out there together as a team, I feel like a little bit more is clicking. We already have some good wins under our belt, and Mick and Sven are a very powerful team, so we're going to try to take the net as much as possible, but at the end of the day, get them to press, hitting their second or third best shots.
I love it. Are we going to be seeing the underhand serve at all thrown out?
We might. We'll see. With the temperature being this low, it's tough to get it to move really anywhere, but it's definitely worth a shot just to get a little bit of extra movement going on.
All right, gents. Well, get warm. We're in for a great match. Stay tuned. We are getting started now.
I feel like it's a combination of platform tennis and like WrestleMania. He brings that energy, and he's so enjoyable.
Absolutely.
To
Well,
listen
that's
to.
why we sent him down there. That's
Well.
why he had to create the excitement. The excitement here tonight.
Yep, Dave, can you tell us a quick background on these players before they start?
Sure. So again, we have Martin Bostrom playing out of the Plainfield Country Club, along with Drew Broderick from the host here, Canoe Brook Country Club, and they'll be taking on Sven Burris from Essex Fells Country Club, and Mick Erdoya, who formerly was at Essex Fells, but now over at Montclair Golf Club. And again, they're both coming off some big wins. As mentioned, Sven and Mick won the event last week in Longmeadow with great wins. And I think we should be having the player profiles coming up on the screen shortly. And we can go over those, Patty, as we see them. All right, so there you see Sven Burris. Again, he is from Essex Fells Country Club, and this is his 6th Pro Flight paddle event. He's played in 5 prior ones, and right now his current ranking individually is number 5 in the country. And he's playing with Mick Erdoya, and together they're ranked number 3 as a team in the country. So again, this is going to be a really good matchup with all the players that we have involved. And again, we have Mick Erdoya from Montclair Golf Club. And again, as well, he's played in 5 other Pro Flight events. And his current national individual ranking is number 5. And as we stated, as a team, they're number 3 in the country. And again, they just both have a lot of firepower. Mick's forehand, Sven's backhand. So, look to them to really move the court, so to speak, to the right. They're going to be moving to their right, looking to open up their powerful shots.
Coming off a huge win, Longmeadow last week, and taking out some of the top teams in the country.
No, they've had a really
The
good
other top
tournament.
teams in the
yeah,
country.
No, and I was watching it, and it was pretty impressive. And we see here Martin Bostrom from Plainfield Country Club, and he's played in multiple pro flight events, and he does have 2 titles to his credit as well. And there we have Drew Broderick from Canoe Brook Country Club. He's a 4-time national champion. He has a mixed national title to his credit as well. And, he's the founder of this. This was his vision. And, I know it's very exciting for him when these events happen. And, we'll just look to see how it goes. But, again, I look for a good matchup. We'll see if Martin and Drew can sort of slow down the high-octane offense of Mick and Sven. And it looks like we're ready to start playing. And it looks like Mick Ardoya in the yellow top will take us out and start serving.
And it's cold here in Summit, New Jersey, Dave.
It is cold, and this looks to be a fun match.
Does the temperature favor either team here, in your opinion, Dave? We'll ask Mark Innes this
law.
question as well.
I don't know if the temperature, if anything, I think it may help Mick and Sven a little bit, just because they like to drive the ball, and the colder weather will help with driving the ball.
Just makes it easier to be more consistent.
Yeah. And one thing I think we will see maybe possibly less of because of the temperature is slash overheads.
Well, you'll still see them. You just won't
30-15.
get the same effect.
Right, you're
The
not
ball
going to
won't
see the
move as
normal where the
much.
ball might be hitting and bouncing back over the net.
Mark,
30-all.
great job. We love those interviews. I said platform tennis meets like WrestleMania now with that energy you're bringing here.
Drew is the Vince McMahon of paddle, as they say.
Totally.
This is a great matchup. Two of the hottest teams this season.
And interesting, we see in the 5th point of the match, we see Drew going from his normal backhand side, switching out over into the forehand corner.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of switching all throughout the matches.
Yeah, this format where they can switch sides even on the return of serve, it kind of welcomes some of these changes that, we're not used to seeing.
Some great discipline there by Ardoya. Letting that ball go past and not stretching for the volley, leaving it for his partner.
Good follow-up there from a great lob from Martin.
Yep, Ardoya takes the risk driving it, and it ends up
30-40.
getting his partner tagged.
Kind of off his back foot there. But the good thing was Drew unloaded. He heard this is good driving temperature, Dave.
That's right. He's got to get used to driving 2 balls in a row, Patty.
Oh, you see that heavy
Head out.
forehand by Bostrom.
Mark, do you think that's created from Martin really waits for that ball to get into the hitting zone? And that's what kind of gives him that force behind it and just heaviness, as you spoke of.
Yeah, his timing is so good, and he's such a clean hitter of the ball. He uses his whole body, he waits for the ball, and he takes it on the rise. I've heard him speak a lot about that when he's playing, is really trying to take the ball early, take it on the rise, and use that force.
I've never seen a guy hit as many lit chords
Second juice.
that actually end up like it'll go long. That's how pure the guy hits the ball with a really tight net. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know if the 3 of us have ever hit a drive that lead cord went beyond the surface
Game
line.
Broderick Bostrom 1-0.
And so we have our first break of serve, first game, and
Now, was that a sudden death point?
it was. And we see here going back to where a great lob by Martin follows it in, gets on tight on the net. allows him to finish off the volley.
Sticks the volley.
Mark Innes, true or false? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I got Anna Zabori here next to me to help me with the answer. What's the question, Patty?
Durant, Mitchell. What other South Africans? Can you name? Are there 2 other South Africans who have a platform tennis national championship? True or false? There are 4.
Oh, I'm going to say false. Are we talking the regular doubles? Or are we talking mixed? What are we going with here?
About 30.
Well, exactly.
What categories we? What
You're
categories
onto
we throwing?
something.
I know Mark Johnson has a title, correct?
He does. Name a South African woman. I'm going to simplify this one. I didn't ask that true or false very well. Name a woman who's won a PTA national championship in women's open play.
That's South African? I don't know a South African woman is playing. You guys are
Today's
holding
her birthday.
You guys are holding
I found
out
it
on
out
me.
on Facebook this morning.
Talk to me. Who is it?
Hall of Famer
First shot.
Pat Butterfield.
Wow.
I had no idea. I got a Facebook prompt this morning, and today's her birthday.
That's
Pat
fantastic.
Butterfield, former national champ.
We see here already the explosiveness of
40 left 40.
Sven and Mick racing out to a love 40 lead here in the second game.
15-40.
Oh, he just daggers that backhand off the screen, does Urdoya.
It's one thing I'll look for with the progression of Bostrom and Broderick, a little bit with the overheads in the middle. Dave and Mark,
Game Boris Erdoya 1-1.
you saw a shot ago. They both went for it. You know, when Drew played with Jared always backed off on the overhead. Drew kind of is a sequential overhead guy, and you know, wants to hit a lot of those balls. And I feel
You
like
know-
Mark wants to hit some of those balls as well.
You definitely have seen some
We're in
maybe
the-
15 love.
indecision.
Yeah, in the earlier match you saw with Hanish and Zabori, when you know, both of them, when they're the left player on the court, the other player simply yielded on a lob up the middle, and you could see the early setup that Zabori in particular had on her overheads today.
There's an example there of the cold weather having an effect
15
on
all.
the spin overhead. Sven trying to go for a little bit more.
I'm sure he'll appreciate you talking
15-30.
that up to the cold weather, Dave.
Well, I think the weather, the cold temp, did have a, you know, was a big factor in that first match with, you know, the drop that Zabori
Oi.
and Hanish were able to hit to open up the court against Delmonico and Gebbia.
15-40.
No, absolutely. It changes
Yeah, we'll see
the
if
game.
it's a factor here.
Attempting that forehand overhead twice in a row.
Yeah, and yeah, you see now they switch back with putting Broderick out in the deuce court, but they have the ability to go back and forth, so it's always going to keep Urdoya and Burish on their toes. They're not going to get into a pattern of... He bounces over the court.
There's
so
an example. I can't really bail him out with the cold
it's
weather.
the cold weather.
Sven, sorry. You're on your own for this one.
I think
I
we're gonna
can't
go
help
to a
you
quick
out.
commercial, guys.
Quick commercial while they run down the ball.
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private. Your legacy, our discipline.
At Veritext, it's not just a deposition. It's the witness that will win your trial. It's the reason you became a lawyer. It's your first case as a partner. It's that case that will make you partner. It's for the families who lost something. It's for that groundbreaking patent. It's for one of the largest companies in the world, or one of the smallest. It's something that will change someone's life forever. At Veritext,
All right, we are back. Broderick and Bostrom 2-1 up in the first set. And we have a guest commentator. Welcome to the booth, Anna Maria Zabori.
15:30.
Anna, you were out on the court there today. Can you tell us anything about the conditions?
I had a little, I needed more time to really feel comfortable on the court. I think I started with driving too many of my forehands in the net, which is my best shot, so it's not really a good feeling starting by missing a lot of your best shots. So the ball is just not bouncing high enough to drive as much. So if you're an aggressive player, that can definitely affect. I was talking to Flor, and she was smart enough to slow me down and ask me to wait for a better chance to drive, because I think I was forcing it a little bit at the beginning. The screens are also tighter because since the ball is heavier and just colder, it does not bounce as much. So I think I see even those guys. I think we're seeing a little bit more of errors, because so far all the matches we played this year were played in much warmer weather. So it's a little bit different. Nothing new though, because Sven is getting hit again.
He's on the ground again.
Yes, I mean
standard procedure.
I think it would be a really an event if he finished a tournament or a match without getting hit. He says it's Mix setting him up. I really think he's just too casual.
I heard he was one of Croatia's best breakdancers.
Yes, he's practicing a lot.
Oh!
But you see, even those cuts are not as effective as they are in a warmer weather. Like it just the ball keeps coming back. And I think even the let courts that we're seeing even in our match and now men's match, it's again, I felt that the net was higher than usual, just because the ball would not ever get above the net. It was never in the sweet spot for a drive.
We see, oh. There's that confusion in the middle.
Down the middle, it's...
They both have such good overheads,
right,
you know.
Right.
They just need to get in sync of who's taking what.
They just need to push their partner over in a position.
That's right. Someone's in your way, throw that stuff on.
That could be one of history, one of the scariest moments we've gone through here at Pro Flight Paddle in the years we've been doing this.
In this cold weather, that hurt. Before that happened in that point there, we saw Boris and Odoya actually switching in the backcourt as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of different ways of playing. A lot of creativity today.
Who did you guys pick to win this match?
We actually haven't picked any yet. Should we you want to throw some picks in?
I mean, you're putting me in a bad spot, because if I don't pick one person, he's going to call my mother and father and
You're off the Christmas card.
Tell them to punish
Take him
me.
off the Christmas card.
He cannot unbrother you.
I'm going to be in my room and punished.
I'm going with Boris Odoya just because they're coming off such a hot victory at Western New England, and I think they've really figured out a good groove, and just together mentally they're both in a good space. So I'm going with those two. What about you, Anna?
I feel the same way. I think they had that breakthrough moment. I think this is really good. They've been, oh wow, maybe I should change my mind.
It's not too late. You haven't finished the sentence. You can change it.
No, I think they were one of the top teams and just needed that breakthrough just for mental purpose, right? To just get to that we are good to finish the tournament as winners. And Sven did talk to me about really pushing for the nationals to happen in April. I think he really wants to play this year, because I think he's never going to say it publicly, but I think they believe they have a shot, and why not? They're among the best teams, so it's great. But again, Drew is such a mental. He's a warrior. It's just almost annoying playing against someone like that.
And Nick and Sven had a great run last year at the Nationals as well.
Yes.
I think it was they made it to the semifinals, losing to Broderick and Palmer in a 3-setter.
Yep, 2 points away from making the finals.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? Kudos to them because, wow, great reaction, Sven. He's also such a big guy. It's hard to miss him.
I'll say this poor guy. He's going to be on more
paddle videos
again. Hit with the ball.
Paddle videos is going to.
Yes, shout out.
He must like it that he's doing it on purpose.
Shout out to all the amazing Instagram fun profiles.
Oh,
that
it's
are,
so fun.
Paddle platform videos, or they're just so funny. And then the women's in platform tennis.
Oh, it's great.
I don't know who they are. I keep texting them. I want to know who they are because I'm a big fan, and they never want to tell me who they are. But I'm definitely expecting to see that new video of Sven kissing the floor.
Kissing the court. Oh, we see a little.
I also feel they're lobbing on purpose down the middle because once you feel that blood, right, they're getting a little confused through the middle on those overheads. That's where you want to go. Just hope they'll do the same mistake again.
Absolutely. Just taking those angles away. You see Broderick giving Bostrom space. They've decided to go at burst there a couple more. And now when they're going to go to the deuce court, then Broderick can take more. So it's a huge bonus to have that lefty-righty combo.
We see the forehand-backhand combination.
Oh! And here again, we have the lefty-righty combo.
See, that's one where, to Anna's point, the ball didn't spin as much as it normally would.
Correct.
So some of these overheads that, if the weather temperature was maybe 5 degrees warmer, maybe 6 to 7, whatever the number is, that ball would have really bit, and possibly even just a point could have been ended.
Oh, a little miscommunication here. I feel Sven likes to take those overheads, so now out of nowhere when he asks Mick to do it, Mick is a little bit surprised and ends up getting late to the ball, but
threw him off a little bit.
It feels like they're not still in the game or in the match yet. I feel there are a lot of flaws and they're still not as tight as I think they will be in 15 minutes.
Yeah, one thing they do so well is even when they're way down, they can claw their way back. They're just one of those teams that never goes away.
Well, I think Drew is the prototype of that grinder that, the match is not over until you get off the court. So that is, if you are a junior right now and watching this and, thinking that it's cool hitting those spinny shots and drop shots and everything, I just would encourage them to kind of look how focused and they never give up, and that is the attitude that you want to teach them, because it's not over until you shake hands.
Absolutely.
And just I want to give a quick shout out, as we said, Mitch was formerly at Essex Fells and Sven is now there, to former president Chris Kinslow, watching, along with Essex Fells favorite, KJ. KJ's well known on the paddle circuit here in New Jersey, so I want to give a shout out to those guys and appreciate the support of watching.
I feel a big difference for, wow. I feel a big difference for Sven. He stepped up with his backhand. He has such a good backhand, and sometimes I feel he doesn't go enough as he should. I think the last weekend win is kind of going to make him another left court.
Yeah. Hometown, he knows how that ball bounces.
That's right.
Do you have a buzzer to raise the net from the other team?
That's it.
That's what I felt like when we
2-4.
played against those New Jersey girls. The net was higher on our side.
And they take the lead. Broderick and Bostrom up 4-2 in the first set. Bostrom is busy serving.
What a move, what a move. He almost got it, but what a great move. Great
Boris is
drive.
serving.
Good follow-up by Martin. Again, closing out that volley.
Is that clean swing by him.
Just to remind everyone, we're here at Canoe Brook Country Club for another edition of Pro Flight Paddle. And just want to give a shout out. They're watching us all the way in Dublin, Ireland.
Hey.
Former assistant of Drew's, Kieran Fitzgerald.
We had a chance to play with some members earlier, and the enthusiasm and the love for the game was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that was a really good turnout. It looked like everyone had fun, and you know, when the club players get to play with the best players in the country, it is definitely a treat.
I almost didn't want to go and play my match because I had so much fun with them.
Broderick, Bostrom. They're leading 5-2.
And I think just, Mark, what do you think? Mick and Sven are just playing a little bit fast, and maybe they need to just slow it down a little bit. And, they are getting some looks, but maybe not going after the first look so aggressively, maybe waiting for the second. And if you want to hold on and answer that, we're going to go to a commercial break.
Give me time to think about it. I like it.
And we have our sponsors here, PPAC Private Wealth Management, also Veritex, along with Richard Wright from Bleakley, Midnight Paddle, UBS, Xenon, MI Paddle, and 23K. And we thank all of our sponsors.
Yeah, Burst and Adoya just gave some errors early that are uncharacteristic, and as Anna was just telling us, it's cold out there. It's taking a little while to get settled.
I'm going to leave now and give back the microphone to the great Patty Hogan. But before that, I just want to give a shout out to the members of the Country Club of New Canaan, and thanks for all the support.
Anna, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on your win today.
Miss Anna Maria Zabori. There's a good swing by Burris. I like to see him moving forward when he's hitting that backhand. Definitely see him having some success there. We see the switch in the backcourt, putting the big Burris backhand in the middle. Already effective. They get to take the net.
Yo.
Nice early call there by Burris.
That was just automatic. That was just quick trigger.
Wow. Adoya doing a great job of closing the net when you recognize the drive and cutting it off. And the reason that one's different was his partner was there, right? The other one that he cut off, Burris was way behind the service line. He wasn't going to have a chance in the volley. That one, we see his partner there, so no need to reach in front. But Oh, great communication there.
And the ball was so low. Oftentimes I'll see club level players reach out on a ball that's really low, where they're going to have to, even if they can make the shot and hit up, they've got to at enough height that could present a blitz for the other team, or, you know, ball of life short in the court.
Big kick serve from Martin Bostrom. Two of the biggest kick serves to the ad court in this match. Martin Bostrom and Sven Burris.
Mark Innes is putting on his running shoes again. Took off his slippers, which he was wearing in here. And he's going to go down to the court, and we'll go to a quick interview here with Burris and Odoya.
Patty, do you think Mark might offer some tips to maybe to slow down a little bit, or do you think he might give a little bit of advice just from...
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private, your legacy, our discipline.
At Veritext, it's not just a deposition. It's the witness that will win your trial. It's the reason you became a lawyer. It's your first case as a partner. It's that case that will make you partner. It's for the families who lost something. It's for that groundbreaking patent. It's for one of the largest companies in the world, or one of the smallest. It's something that will change someone's life forever. At Veritext,
Okay, and welcome back to Pro Flight Paddle Live at Canoe Brook Country Club. We're going to send it down to Mark Innes, who interview the players.
I'm here with Mick Odoya and Sven Burris. Gents, first set didn't go your way. What do you think you need to do in the second set going forward?
Yeah, I think we have to adjust. I think we're looking to switch more in the backcourt just to mix up some more overheads for them. And then at the net, we just got to let Sven wait for the right shot to attack and, you know, make our shots. I mean, nothing. We just got to find the rhythm back and get the points a little longer and hopefully find a way to come back.
Anything on your side, Sven?
No, these matches are kind of tricky. It's just you go out, that's just one match. So we just got to get going. It was a little slow at the beginning, but I feel like we're warmed up. We're good to go.
You heard it here, ladies. Stay tuned for a great second set.
All right, Patty, we're back here. The start of the second set of Pro Flight Paddle at Canoe Brook Country Club.
Dave, do you know how Canoe Brook was formed?
I do not.
Group of guys from Summit, Chatham, Madison area, where there were some smaller type of social gathering clubs, decided why don't they team up, and they were looking for a tract of land. And this was land that used to be the W.C. Wallace estate, and they chose this site. And true or false, Dave, one of the founding members used to live on the property where the Beacon Hill Club is situated.
I would have to say true, Patty.
You know, you're right. Can you name him, Dave?
I did not. True, false was an easy pick. I don't know if I know his name.
Well, I don't know. When you walk up that great staircase at Beacon Hill Club and you see the ornate and the carvings, CB for Carol Bassett, who that was his former estate. Now tennis courts, paddle courts, great club right across the street. With Greg Morgan, our buddy, is the pro over there. And Short Hills, Canoe Brook was formed in 1901 and one of the finest facilities for any club in New Jersey and anywhere in the country. We're happy to be a part of Pro Flight Live, easy for me to say.
Exactly.
Here on a brisk, how brisk is it out there now, Mark?
Patty, we must be doing something right. They keep inviting us back.
Well, I mean, it's your brother. It'd be hard to punch you, Dave.
Well, I would be the easiest one to dump.
Well, and the fact that Mark is so fast, I mean, this is a real asset going forward with Pro Flight Paddle.
It is brisk out there, but, you know, as they that's what's keeping me fast. They're running. It's keeping me warm.
So we talk about this amazing paddle community we're situated in here as Mick Odoya is getting ready to start off the second set. One more quick shout out to the supportive membership of Canoe Brook. Phenomenal in their support. Every idea Drew Broderick has, he works really hard, and the members here and the entire staff always step up, and they definitely have it down here and make, anybody who comes over to Canoe Brook, especially when it's not COVID restricted, totally pleasant experience.
And we heard from Sven Bursch there saying, it is a tricky format, the one match when you get straight into the, a tough first round, essentially.
You're essentially walking into the finals.
Right. So it's not easy. You have to get settled, and they're looking to play some longer points to find their way there.
And to your point that it's like walking into a finals. It's not quite like national final, but Drew's the player who's been here more than any of them at the highest level in the sport. Not surprised that they were dialed in from the onset here.
And again, we talked about it a little bit during the women's match where, you don't have the luxury of sort of playing into the tournament. You don't have a couple of early round matches just to kind of get a feel for what's going on. You're kind of, again, you're right. It's a high level match right away.
And Bostrom played a ton of points over in that half court, starting right out here. They didn't, Dave, what do you think? Are we going to see Drew switching back to that deuce court, which proved to be quite effective? And have I told you who my favorite pro was from the last match? It's right now a toss-up between Lauren Gebbia and Anna Zabori, and it's not for the reasons you think. It's because they're wonderful at giving back to the junior game and growing the game, and they have passion and enthusiasm for the sport and for the commentators.
And these 3 cocktails they just dropped off for us.
We do appreciate it.
Ordoya not happy with that one.
Game, Broderick Bostrom, 1-0.
They're going to have to find a way to settle down and play those long points. That's after their success at Western New England, Burris and Ordoya, they both said they felt like the reason that they found success was that they were able to play long points and really be patient. And they both agree that that's the game style that they find the most success. And right now they are playing pretty quick.
And you know what, Mark? I agree with that, where, as much as they are a high octane explosive team from the baseline, they don't need to rush. And we say this all the time, at least I do with the students that I'm teaching, where, the second and third and fourth opportunity is better than the first. And I think that they're sometimes just tonight going for the first opportunity big.
I once asked Drew Broderick what made Jared Palmer such a great player, and he said exactly that. He said he felt Jared didn't take the first opportunity. He really waited for the third or fourth when they weren't expecting it.
Right.
We see the switch in the backcourt. Put in the Burris Ordoya. Oh, there's that backhand in the middle.
But the other thing, when you think about a Jared Palmer and his players, we mentioned Durant, Broderick, Parsons, their ability to be intense on the onset of a match, play every single point. I never felt that Jared Palmer had to do any warm-up. He's such a freaking nature talent, obviously, from the tennis world and into the platform tennis world. But I just marveled watching him go through the methodical approach at Nationals last year. And Drew and Jared kind of annihilated the defending national champs, Parsons and Araya. It was just amazing to watch that Palmer could dial in like that.
Incredible defense here from Burris and Ordoya. They're just surviving the onslaught of overheads from Bostrom and Broderick. And this is what they're going to need to do. These are the kinds of points they're going to have to play.
Still confusion down the middle again.
Tough volley.
This is an amazing point, by the way.
This is how they're going to have to play. There you go. This is their game style. You can see them getting fired up about that point. Erdoya doesn't get enough credit for the type of defender he is. His forehand gets a lot of credit, but he really is an incredible defender.
He is. You saw him absorb that backhand volley, get down
Oh.
low to the ball. Kept that volley down low.
His volleying ability is excellent. Very good.
And that was an onslaught of overheads that they survived there. And that can be very discouraging for a net team when you're hitting such good overheads and you're not getting any leeway.
Right, often it could lead to pressing a little bit to try to do a little bit more with the ball.
Look at those two low volleys. Burris just came up right there.
And this is what Burris and Erdoya do so well. They make, even when you're playing your finest, if you're not able to win points, they're going to frustrate you to pieces. Oh.
Lots of New Jersey paddlers are tuning in and listening to this. Shout out to everyone from Chatham with the high school program there. Liz Landy, Priscilla out in Mendham. Everyone's enjoying the action. Kristen Staub. Kristen thinks that we need to have an official Pro Flight cocktail for the fans.
Oh, I like that.
So we might have to get Marshall Chapin to put in some...
Mix it up.
Submit some suggestions.
That was a big game there. That's a big win. And the way they won that game is going to give Burris and Erdoya some good confidence. Sven Burris up to serve.
And look at what Erdoya just did. He just held that position for 10 seconds. How many people in America,
Strong
let
knees.
alone Estonia, could do that?
Strong knees, those Estonians.
Dave's been practicing that move in here.
Yeah, but I'm still stuck
He's
on the
still
floor.
down.
I'm still stuck.
Dave, why don't we join you on the floor? Mark, how fun is the vibe out there when you were down there? I just went down to grab a burger. And
Oh, it's
the
great.
24 people here.
Yep, the heaters are out. It's fantastic. And courtside, the paddle, you don't always feel it from the cameras and up here, but it's a great vibe and a lot of action. The reach of Burris. Oh, you see the calm switch. Wow. And you see how early he read it. He saw that Bostrom was setting up to drive. He closed the net, he was balanced, and he just absorbed the pace of the ball. Great play there by Burris.
You guys, can I tell you another good thing about these pros all playing? They're all teaching pros. They're passionate. They give back to the game.
There's the positioning you love, Patty. You were talking about that shift there.
Totally closing in.
Oh!
Ah.
Sorry to cut you off, Patty.
Well,
Go on.
It's okay. That was so cool. Quick shout out. All of these pros here are class acts, and Mick and Sven, Anna Zabori, Lauren Gebbia. Like when we pull off junior nationals, as Dave knows, as we've done it for 1 trillion years, we need all hands on deck. And every pro gets involved, and that's what makes it a tournament. You know, it's professionally run, of course, but the integrity of the event with all these pros helping out make it really special, and that's going to be important this year, especially where we'll have no spectators, but every place will have a veteran pro who really loves the junior game and is going to help out.
Is the junior nationals looking for a courtside interviewer?
Well, you are fast, so we're going to have 7 different finals that day.
All right, I'm in.
And we need you to go from
I'll lace up.
every club.
Come on.
These are the games.
All right, we got a little turning of the tide, so to speak.
Yep.
I think we're going to go to a quick commercial.
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private. Your legacy, our discipline.
At Veritext, it's not just a deposition. It's the witness that will win your trial. It's the reason you became a lawyer. It's your first case as a partner. It's that case that will make you partner. It's for the families who lost something. It's for that groundbreaking patent. It's for one of the largest companies in the world, or one of the smallest. It's something that will change someone's life forever.
We're back, Canoe Brook Country Club. Patty Hogan, Dave Broderick, the one and only Mark Innes. We're in the second set of the men's exhibition match. As you can see, Broderick and Bostrom won the first set 6-2. Burris and Erdoya have a little bit of momentum. And Mark Innes, amazing paddle analyst, is going to tell you why.
They played their game style. Burris and Erdoya are grinders, you know. That's when they're playing their best, when they're really surviving the onslaught of overheads and waiting for the Burris backhand. See, but even there, even though Burris missed, Erdoya pointed to him and he likes that swing. Those misses are not bad. When you're missing and it's the shot that you and your partner both agree are fantastic for your team, it's okay to go for it, and it's okay to miss. You know you're going to make some misses. And that's where they started to get some momentum when they grinded, they survived, and they took the shots that they as a team have decided are their shots. Those are the shots that they own.
How about that play where Burris just moved forward, didn't even go for the ball because the overhead got down in a hurry, but it created an offensive opportunity for Erdoya to make a rip on the ball, forcing a volley error.
Making looks, absolutely.
So Sven doing nothing, just took a couple steps in, maybe because of overhead to be hit a little too hard.
Patty, sometimes they say doing nothing is the right play. You don't have to get involved just to get involved.
A little more is less.
That's it.
A little less is more.
Colorado is reporting in. Dave, Ron Cummins enjoying the action.
Big Ron, former president of the New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis Association.
Huge force in helping to grow the game in New Jersey. When we used to have 2 leagues, what are we up to now? We have something like our 8th New Jersey league. Just went on Paddle Scores, Dave and Mark.
We should give a big shout out to one of the participants today, Leslie Stiska, president of the New Jersey Women's Flex Paddle League.
Shout out Leslie.
Leslie's done a great job. Took over for Tara King, who was the early commission of the league when we started it a couple years ago, and Leslie's really taken it a notch up, and she has about 350 players registered this year who are playing, and they're loving the action.
What a get there by Mick.
There's that defensive ability of his. Great setup. Just cut it a little close going for the alley, but great lobs to push them around, created some space. This is a big game right here.
If you're watching this, you're wondering how to grow paddle in your area of the country, get a league, get on Paddle Scores, contact the APTA. They'll help you get involved, and there's so many pros who are entrepreneurial here and who are taking the game to the next level, offering tournaments all over. We've got the Summit Series here, Dave, founded by Drew Broderick and Beacon Hill Clubs Pro, Greg Morgan, and providing events based on PTI levels. And they play in a 3-hour time stretch, so it's really become, helped grow the APTA, and since Amin Kaduri has taken over. Do you know how many new APTA members have joined the APTA in the last year and a half?
Patty, I do not.
Lot 15.
Tell us, though.
I'll give you the over-under of 3,600.
Wow. That's fantastic.
It's up there. He's really grown the game with the introduction of the PTI, and it still needs some tweaking, but it's a great format. It's a great indicator that will allow future tournaments to be held and let everybody compete in their appropriate level of play.
2-2, 15 all. Mick Erdoya up and serving. driving that ball off the deck off a roller is such a tough thing to do.
A little impatient there, I would say.
Yeah. Unlike Broderick.
Well, it's tough because when Broderick's in the at court, the ball moves into his body. He's an inside-out hitter. When he's in the deuce court, that ball's moving away from him with that roller.
Wow.
That's about the third time we've seen that shot.
So smart by Odoye. He saw that his serve was coming out and he just stays back.
Some really good communication back on the baseline between Martin and Drew during this point.
And at the net, they seem to have figured it out a little bit. Not as many balls that uncertain about.
You.
Oh.
You.
I could just feel like Drew is just looking to crush a two-handed backhand to make up for his miss a point ago.
You can feel how important this point is. 2-2, 30 all.
What a reach from Bostrom right there.
That's a dangerous spot, that side screen of Bostrom's. Wow, there's the fist pump. There's the fist pump and the stare down. Great point.
And he just closed the net a little bit there. Rock solid. No backswing, no follow through on that volley.
Odoye does that so well. Oh!
I think again we see another example of the weather being a factor where a little warmer weather, I think Drew goes for a slash overhead cutter. And in the colder weather, he just went for the waterfall.
Yep.
Again, you see that happen again. That was a good choice.
Great disguise there by Broderick. He looked like he was going to hit the drop shot. Got Burrish to come forward and then at the last moment pushed it past him. Great court awareness. Nice early call there by Burrish.
You guys, we don't have it televised, but we have an amazing singles match going on with Drew's son Vince playing against Marissa, Dave's daughter, out there on court number 5.
Oh! What a shot.
Wow.
I mean, that was an
Great
amazing
action.
get by Odoye. Just once again showing off his speed and really great hands by Martin Bostrom.
Bostrom, that's big time at 2-2 and deuce. Wow. His Bostrom's finishing capabilities at the net have really improved this season.
All 4 players really have good overheads.
They really do. A lot of variety. Burrish and Odoye probably a little less ability to bring their opponents forward with that short cutter. We see the switch in the backcourt. another switch.
And there you could see the setup with Sven. Moved his grip over Mark and got that ball, the cutter low, lower contact point.
Yeah.
I'm so used to Erdoya taking a majority of the overheads. You know, when he used to play prior to Sven.
They seem to, and he has such great overheads, which is a big reason why he does, but they seem to have figured out that Broderick should take a couple more, especially when they're picking on that ad court. And Broderick's overheads really do slide off the paddle well.
And Erdoya loves closing in. I mean,
that's exactly
it. Handle.
He's such a good
almost any
up-close
drive.
volleyer, closing in. Very good.
He reads it. He puts that volley back past you. And I know he's been trying to develop a drop shot even more, which would just take his closing to a whole nother level.
Yo. Yo.
So you can really see neither team is having any confusion with a lefty-righty combination in the middle, because they've got their strategy going into the match. They constantly tweak, and you can hear the constant chatter.
That's it. And for players at home, if you're a lefty-righty combo, if you're picking on the deuce court, that left-handed player should be taking a lot more of the overheads.
So we'll go to a quick commercial here at 3-2. Second set. Broderick and Bostrom up. They won the first set 6-2.
Success takes hard work. Making success a legacy takes discipline. PPAC Private. Your legacy, our discipline.
At Veritext, it's not just a deposition. It's the witness that will win your trial. It's the reason you became a lawyer. It's your first case as a partner. It's that case that will make you partner. It's for the families who lost something. It's for that groundbreaking patent. It's for one of the largest companies in the world, or one of the smallest. It's something that will change someone's life forever. At Veritext,
We are back at Canoe Brook. Second set. Pro Flight, paddle. Patty Hogan, Dave Broderick, and Mark Innes.
About 30.
Broderick Bostrom up a break, but quickly down, love 30.
We haven't seen any switches on the return of serves like we saw in the women's match before, Patty and Dave.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You think they may have forgot about the rule?
I mean, Mark, they're guys. They're guys. I know how this goes.
There's a great chance. There's a very good chance that's the case.
Has anybody repeated it to them in the last 10 minutes?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, you knew as soon as he hit that. Mick was psyched.
You know it's trouble when all three of us said,
oh boy,
at the
even
same
before,
time.
that's right.
Shout out to Mick's wife Rachel, daughter Sophia, son Frankie, and their dog Taco. They're busy watching at home where it's warm and cozy. Tomorrow is Sophia's second birthday, Mick's firstborn.
Oh,
so
it is.
Big happy birthday to her.
Should we sing?
I don't think anyone wants that from us, Patty. There's that closing we're talking about.
Hey, real fast, guys. Dave, in the Summit Series, who's our most famous player in the Summit Series? New Jersey has a fine addition thanks to the retirement of
You mean it's not KJ from Essex Fells?
It is not. It is Eli Manning, who is playing out of Beacon Hill and has played in the Summit Series. And
He's really starting to enjoy the game.
Eli, we have seen Eli and Abby, and they're getting into it. We see them in some of our programs, and they're loving it. And we'd hoped to maybe get Eli to do a little analysis here tonight. But we got to wish his daughter a happy 6th birthday. And we'll get him on the stream sometime in the future. But he hasn't been around for too many birthdays, and pretty important for his kids. Have daddy home for birthdays now.
Yeah, no, I saw him again. He seems to be really enjoying it, getting into it. I watched him play a little bit on Wednesday night over at Beacon Hill, and he looked like he was taking care of business.
TCB?
That's it.
Davey's got another Giants. One of his old teammates is playing out of Montclair. Is that right? Do you know that? Do you know about that, or is that top secret?
No, I think he's. I think they're playing in one of the partners leagues together. I believe he's playing with Zach Diassi.
Yep.
Wow, that was a clean forehand.
And he's a good sport about his level of play. He's coming into the game. He put a post on and said he's into paddle. Who of you think you can beat me? And 80% of the people
I would love
to
see.
beat him.
I would love to see him volleying that Bostrom forehand back. I think that could be a good thing for charity. Eli on one side, Bostrom hitting that forehand back.
I think that'd be great. Eli's working out the Manning grips out there, and I think he's going to need a little bit more time to be able to control the pace of the Bostrom forehand.
I think we all need a little more time to control the pace
I need
of
about
that.
7 years to try to work on that.
Does he get to wear shoulder pads and helmet?
We'll give him it all.
gets
Gum
to wear-
guards, everything.
He wears looser pants in Battle Day.
Great close in the net by Broderick there.
Really good volley.
And that's something that's changed in the game a little bit, especially this year. Players seem to be really closing the net and sticking their volleys. Jared Palmer sort of really made a change with bringing that around where, you know, volleys can become more offensive. You sort of, they drive through, you sort of know your partner's there, but taking advantage of reading the play or softer drives.
And also, do you think that is also the case because drives are just getting bigger?
I think bigger topspin. You've got to close. You've got to be closer to the net to even get that ball before it dips below the level of the net. And you can't even appreciate that pace and speed unless you're courtside.
All right, Patty, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to Pro Flight Live.
This is presented by PPAC Private Wealth Management and Veritex Legal Solutions. And big shout out to our other sponsors, Richard Wright, Bleakley Financial Group, Midnight Paddle, UBS, Xenon Paddle, My Paddle, and 23K. For those of you that are just joining us, the women's match, we had Hanish and Zabori defeating Delmonico and Gebbia in a great match over there. And right now, Broderick and Bostrom are 6-2, 4-3 up. We're nearing a crucial point here, Dave and Patty.
Oh, this is a real big game, I think. I think Mick and Sven playing from 4-all is going to be a lot easier than down 3-5.
You think, Dave?
Captain Obvious?
Captain freaking obvious on that one. No, you're right, Dave. And the score impacts everything.
Mark and Patty, I just want to give a shout out to...
Hands, yeah.
It touched his...
Good honor call.
It hit his hand.
Touch Burish's hand, so that's the point to Broderick and Bostrom.
I was just saying I want to give a shout out to Rob Scanoni, the president of the New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis League. And he offered some donations for junior paddle this year. for the Nationals. So we thank him and everybody on the board of the NJMPTA.
And the New Jersey Men's League, the Women's League, Vikings. So many people have been great supporters of junior paddle. We're not asking for donations, but Rob, thanks in advance for your donation. Next year, Regina Feeney, if you're listening, thanks in your donation. Support junior paddle.
Yep.
And we've got Virginia weighing in, Dave and Jane Arthur enjoying the action, guys. Big former lunch check-in people at Junior Nationals. A fine honor.
You see over there, like you were talking about before, Mark, Martin's looking to jump for that backhand. He's looking to jump.
30-15.
We haven't seen any one player's return really dominating yet today, and that's due to the fact we have four of the best serves in the game right here. The Odoya serve to the deuce court, Burris and Bostrom to the ad court, and Broderick as well to the deuce court. It's just such heavy kick serves. There's been no consistent big return that's just been dominating.
Mark Guinness, what percent of the players in a game of platform tennis can dominate off the serve? How many?
I know one that's standing right in front of us, Anna Maria Zabori.
Besides Anna Maria Zabori. How many?
I would say it's maybe 10%, right, or even less. There's these four right here are, again, probably the four of the best at doing it. This might be it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is extraordinary what we're watching.
3-5.
Dave, to your point about 5-3. I tell you, the amount of work that goes into pulling off an event like this. Kudos to Drew that he gets all this figured out. He had a great pro-am today.
And he still goes out and performs. It's incredible. He was running around right before heading out there, and mentally he's already on the ball.
Well, we're getting to that time of year, which is toward the end of the season, potentially with Nationals in April. And that's one of Broderick's favorite times of the year.
15 love.
Top players dial it up at Nationals.
Yo.
Dave, you're a big fan of volleying straight ahead. Burris is putting on a clinic right there on that. Volley straight ahead. You don't have to. Your net team doesn't have to move.
Yeah.
All you have to worry about is whether they're going to drive or lob versus trying to cover the open court.
There's some good positioning there by Burris and Odoya. Definitely needed to counter the big Bostrom ground strokes.
Patty, the only way the cross-court player can hit a winner is if you hit it to them.
Like that? Uh-oh, they made an X, Dave.
Uh-oh.
The dreaded X, Mark.
Just couldn't absorb that pace. Heavy ball by Bostrom.
Well, we always say when someone hits the ball straight ahead or someone hits across and the other person takes the ball cross court, you've got the X formed and there's going to be a vulnerable spot soon to follow for the net team. If you have a team on the other side who can capitalize in that moment. Mark, why did Drew call out help?
Everyone needs a little help sometimes. No, he thought that ball was going to the nick. He was covering up the line, and he was hoping Bostrom, if it did bounce back behind him, Bostrom would be there in the middle for him. So he gave him that early help call. It's a great thing for players to get in the habit of doing.
How about that shot from Broderick? Took something off that overhead. You know, Odoya just assumed Drew would blast that ball flat. It would go through. He was already going to take it off the back screen.
Oh, heavy
drive there. And we're here at match point number 1.
Get your sneakers on, Mark Innes.
I think they're going to hold this game. I'm taking a gamble. I'm not going anywhere.
You've been here before.
I'm saying that they're going to hold.
You know, we kind of want we want the breaker in the third set.
Oh.
But I'm not sure we're going to get it.
No, Patty, we want the 14-all breaker in the third set.
Add out if they get this.
Match
goes
point
to
again?
sudden death. Sudden death point, yeah.
All right, match point number 3.
And they're choosing Broderick. Lefty serve to the ad course, little less effective. Oh.
Oh! Wow. Did he just say who has no forehand?
Broderick is possessed here.
What do you mean I don't have a forehand?
And there it is. I'm running down.
Game,
All
set,
right,
match.
we're going to count. How long did it take Mark to get down courtside?
Only Mark Innes can say, okay, and that's a wrap, and then he'll appear courtside in no time. Dave, what a display by Bostrom and Broderick. I just think they came out spot on, ready to compete on the first point of the match, and they just set the tone in the early going, and then.
No, I agree. I think that, I've obviously watched my brother quite a bit. And I think that was the most consistent that they played together. It looked like they were on the same page. In the beginning they had a few hiccups where, they had some miscommunications in the middle. But I think that has been all pretty good. I think they played really well. I think it was one of their better performances. And again, we've said that they have some great results. But, I think they really played solid today.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch that, Dave. And, amazing for Drew as the event coordinator here, founder of Pro Flight, to pull off such strong play here. And I think we're going to go down to the court for an interview.
Courtside interview with the winners of the match.
With the one and only Mark Innes and the winners of this Pro Flight paddle.
Mark, take it away.
The 24 Canoe Brookers, the members who are allowed to come here today, are loving the action. Just gave a good cheer for Bostrom Broderick.
Patty, I do think we are going courtside.
We are going courtside.
For a live interview.
I think that Broderick and Bostrom just wanted to go take a shower, Dave, before the interview, but Mark Innes insisted that they stay
had
for
to
an
wait.
interview.
Absolutely.
Come on. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am standing here with the winners, Drew Broderick and Martin Bostrom. Gents, great performance. How's it feel?
Feels good. Played well. We had, a nice night for paddle. A little cold, but no wind. And, I just feel like I'm hitting the ball well. And points against these guys are always fast and lots of fun. So anytime we could get out on the court, it's a good time, win or lose.
We saw a lot of switching around in the backcourt. You're both looking very comfortable from both sides. Is that a strategy we're going to see going forward?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's really important to be able to play both sides to begin with, but it changes the dynamic of where the overheads are going a little bit. And if you can get them to make a little bit of a mistake, that's really where the driving opportunities come from. So I think just keep switching, having them guess a little bit, like where is the safe spot, like, because it's always moving based on if I'm in the do side or if I'm in the ad side. So, it's definitely something we're sticking to going forward.
Now let me add to that, though. I think we switch so much because Martin gets bored watching me play, so he wants to move a little bit. So sometimes I think we switch and he never even touches the ball. Right. He's just getting warm.
But it gives me something to do, right? So,
that's right. Absolutely. Got to keep yourself occupied. That's a great way to do it. When are we going to be seeing you guys playing again?
Hopefully soon. Haven't looked at the calendar really, but, with a lot of moving parts with nationals, but we'll be out there again soon.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I love it. Well, it was a pleasure watching you guys. Congrats again. And hopefully you're going to get to enjoy the rest of the evening. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. It was fantastic having you. Back upstairs to Patty and Dave.
Heard someone say my name with such enthusiasm.
Well, again,
For years, Dave.
that's why we have him doing the live interviews. He's enthusiastic. He's energetic. He's really fun to be teamed up with here up in the booth commentating. And, I thought it was a great night of paddle for both matches were really good, entertaining. I think they were good for the players out there watching to see, you can be patient and then get your chance and be offensive, but you can't rush it. You can't force it. I thought it was really good. Great event, especially in these times to be able to pull it off
And
and
Dave,
give people something to watch.
It's always a pleasure to, hang out and chat it up with you and Mark, of course. But, most important, these Pro Flight events are for the member clubs who, the members of the club who host these events. And they get an opportunity to really make a connection with these players. And playing in a Pro-Am before, it's just a phenomenal opportunity to further everyone's paddle level. Drew's a great pro here, teaching his members, but everyone knows you benefit from getting different points of view and having all of these guys come out and play with the men and women today. It's just what makes Pro Flight Paddle kind of a unique and special offering in our sport.
And the one thing I do want to add is it's a little bit of a shame in the times that we are in right now, because usually we may have a couple hundred members of the club coming out, enjoying the food, the drinks, the atmosphere, the paddle matches. We were limited to the number of people that were allowed to watch. And, but again, you have to also credit the club and the members for allowing it to happen. And, no, this is something special that I think all the clubs that do host the events really enjoy.
Yeah, so it's great. And Dave, great job as always. And to Mark, thanks so much for joining us in the booth. Here's Mark. He's got his running shoes. Now he's going back into his slippers.
We've got to bring Mark back in.
Slippers on. And we're just offering a little bit of a wrap up. Mark, anything you'd like to add?
It was great to see Bostrom and Broderick playing so. You mean I need these?
You need a headset.
You mean I need these? It was great to see Bostrom and Broderick playing so well. They're an exciting team to watch, and I look forward to seeing more of them. Boris and Odoya, I think this is always a tough format for player of their style. A couple of errors and you can be out of it. So it's tricky for them. I'm sure they're not thrilled with the result, but anytime you get to compete and be out here with this great vibe, it's always a positive. So big kudos to Drew, the whole Pro Flight Paddle team, Canoe Brook Country Club, Patty and Dave.
The sport of platform tennis,
fantastic.
APTA, everybody who helps put this all together, and all the enthusiastic fans and members of every club. Paddle's on the rise. It's the greatest sport without COVID, but it's totally the best COVID sport for everyone of all ages.
Also, I just want to give a big shout out to the production team of Danya, Ben, and Evan. Always do a great job. We've been with them from day one. We've come a long way with a lot of different aspects of the productions of Pro Flight Paddle, but they do a phenomenal job, and we're really glad to be a part of the team with them.
Would you say you started at the bottom, now you're here?
What is that? We started at the bottom and then at the top? Who sings
yeah.
that song?
A little Drizzy Drake.
That's it. We started at the bottom and now we're at the top. That's it.
So short of any more singing, we're going to wrap it up. We'll go to a commercial. We'll see you on the next Pro Flight event.
Signing off.
Take care, everyone.
The new athletes come up with new ways and new strategies to try and play the sport. It used to be played in a very traditional type of style, but now there are about 6 or 7 different service styles, many different ways you can attack or play a point, and it's just an exciting new territory that the sport has gone into.
Paddle is like a chess game. It's a combination of a lot of shots. You're not gonna kill the king with one move.
I truly believe that every person can be taught a little differently. There's no textbook way to play this game.
If they can see the court a certain way, then their shot selection makes more sense.
The earlier you're able to do something, the less perfect you have to be.
But you need to be patient and let them come to you. If you start trying to force the point, then I think you lose more than you'll win.
From this website, we really want to make learning easy. We know that paddle can be a lot. When you're out there, you're thinking of hitting the ball, you're thinking of the screens, you're thinking of your technique. There's a lot of things going on. So we want to break things up into bite-sized pieces that make it easy for you to digest, easy for you to learn, and then easy for you to implement in your game. That is our goal.
I want to use my whole body to rotate through, and that's what's going to give you more power.
As soon as you recognize your opponent is hitting a lob, step back 2 steps so you can help cover the space behind you.
Positioning, preparation, and patience.
Keep that ball going in there.
Take a risk, have some fun.
There it is, perfect.
I'm Johan de Ron.
I'm Florentina Hanisch.
I'm Drew Broderick.
Macy Elliott.
Mark Powers.
Jerry Viant.
Hi, I'm Stephen Mitchell.
Anna Maria Zubori.
Martin Bostrom.
Marcela Rodesna.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.
And this is my paddle.
This is my paddle.